The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
I'm a big fish in a small pond, got my days free and the nights long. I create my own reality. Who I am is fine with me. As famous as I wanna be. Who I am is fine with me. It's who I am. It's who I am. Who I am is fine with me.
Coming in. You know what that means. It's my favorite hour of the week. Hey everybody, it's Maria from What's the Story with Maria. How's it going? So welcome to our show. Today is March 26th. It's a Tuesday. Edie Gershman has joined us. You know, for our radio listeners, if you're listening to on armeddigitalmedia.com or Armed Radio Global, a shout out to our vets across the country and the world. We love and appreciate you. Thank you for your service. And so I just want to welcome everybody on. Annette Zito has joined us. If you hear me calling people out, we're also Facebook Living radio people. So that's why I'm seeing people come on our Facebook. Mark Weiser has joined us. Hi, Mark Weiser. Joe Savino, he's the big cheese. He's Joe Rocks at Armed Radio. Hi, Joe Rocks. George Hernandez has joined us. He's in Miami. So thank you, George Hernandez. Thank you so far, everyone that's popped on. And you'll see we have a lot more people that pop on as the show goes on. So I was talking to Jimmy tonight, and usually Jimmy and I, our producer and engineer, we talk about, what we're going to call the show. So I give him the guest names, and then he says, what are we going to call it? And so tonight we are calling it Celebrating Southern Style. So anybody that knows me knows that when I do these shows, I usually put people together for a reason, something that they have in common or something that I feel about both of them. Now, Tarra is just this incredible singer that I heard a little while back at the club that I work at downtown. And oh my God, I hear a lot of singers. That's what I do. I work in nightclubs and I'm a musician and I'm a singer, so I hear a lot of singers. But I just stopped what I was doing when you came in. John Bronson, who is a mutual friend actually of three of us.
Yay!
Yes, I thought of that too. So that's another reason I put us together. John Bronson said, you have to hear Tarra. Amazing. And then I was watching a couple of your YouTube videos recently, and you mentioned being from the South. And I was like, okay, when I think of the South, I think of Randy, because Randy is a chef, an amazing chef, and he owns this restaurant that I just adore called Spoon Fed NYC, and it's Southern cooking. So that is why I have put these beautiful people together tonight. Let me see who else has joined us. Stephen Elbell, Kenny Green.
Hey,
you know Kenny Green? You know Kenny Green? He's an amazing musical director. And I think he's doing, are you doing Ain't Misbehaving now? No, you're doing something else. But I know, Tarra, you're going out for Ain't Misbehaving in May, right?
End of April, yes.
Okay, all right. So we got a lot to talk about. Chocolatina Q Dessert in Colorado has joined us. Kia Nelson in Philly. Hi, Kia. Miss you. Annette Zito. She's up in the Bronx. She's a chef too. You're gonna love Randy and that. Okay. So all our regulars. Ed Kutu. He's at Blade Salon in Rocky Hill, Connecticut. So he's a hairdresser. We went to high school together. Yup. So if we need to get our hair did, we're gonna go and see Eddie. David Foley Jr., he was on the show last week. He's an amazing singer. He's out with Les Mis right now. He just left. So he was on the show Tuesday and then went out on the road.
Yeah, I saw the show.
You saw the show?
Enjoyed the show.
Wasn't it a great show?
It was so much fun.
Yeah, Randy, and I'm so glad that you could do it tonight. And Bill Goffey is in our studio audience. He's such a pain in my butt. Yeah, I had to calm him down. And Leo is in our studio audience. He is my love. He's our accidental intern. Kyle de Blasio has joined us. Okay, now that I've done my opening, and I usually do a little bit of an opening because I want people to pop on, and I don't want them to miss any of what our guests have to say. So, this handsome devil, look at that smile, could you die? Is right? Is Randy Witherspoon. He is a chef and he now owns a restaurant called Spoon Fed. Maria Filiumani has joined us, and Brad Street Brown has joined us. And let's start with Randy, and then we're going to go back and forth with Tarra Connor Jones. Okay, so Randy, my love. Now, I got to tell you, I cook for our show, and today I was a little nervous. I don't usually get nervous about cooking, but I said, this is no joke. I have like a major chef on.
It smells amazing in here.
You said that, so
yeah,
you made
it smells
my day.
really good in here. I can't wait to taste it.
I did not make. I don't cook Southern dishes. I mean, I could learn, I guess, but maybe I'll hang out with you one day in the kitchen.
I love that.
You know, your meatloaf. I had. First of all, we'll talk about where Randy's restaurant is in a minute. I love meatloaf. I'm a lover of meatloaf. I don't make it really. I think I made it once, but it's not something I make. But I love it. Your meatloaf was the best I ever had.
Thank you.
The best in my life.
I don't know if you need to get out more or...
No. I split it. Now, Leo Rodriguez and I... We have to say it that way every time. Leo Rodriguez and I are both people that enjoy food. We are not shy about eating.
Not at all.
We ordered that meatloaf, and we split it.
The meatloaf is a pound. It is
Okay,
a
so
16
talk about
ounce.
that
It is a 16-ounce block of meatloaf.
block. It is a block.
It is. It's a block. Now, first, I'm going to the backstory of the meatloaf.
Whatever you want. It doesn't matter.
So, as I'm developing the recipes for the restaurant and for my friends and across Broadway, my husband, his mother left him her recipe book.
Oh.
And I'm going through it.
Is your husband from the South as well?
He's from Southern California.
Oh.
He thinks that
He thinks
qualifies
that's the
him as being a Southerner.
Okay.
But I say yes because I have to.
Oh, yes, sometimes you do.
Absolutely. So his mother left him her recipe book, and I'm going through it, and I came across the meatloaf recipe, and I love the ingredients, and I thought it was very comparable to how I cook. And he told me the story that he and his siblings wouldn't eat her leftovers; they just didn't like leftovers.
Oh my
So she
God,
would try
I
to
love
she would
leftovers.
disguise her leftovers daily. So one of her incarnations of the meatloaf was to do a thin slice and fry it. And so when he told me that, I was like, I love that concept.
Yeah.
So I bumped it up. I said, what if we did a 16-ounce block of meatloaf, wrap it in bacon,
Oh my God.
roll it in my
Are
special,
you listening to this?
roll it in my special seasoned flour,
Just back up. Block of meatloaf wrapped in bacon.
and then we roll it in flour,
Roll it in flour.
and then we deep fry that sucker.
Are you kidding me? Exactly.
Deep fry that sucker, and then when we get it out, it's a beautiful golden, crispy meatloaf
It's-
block wrapped in bacon.
Exactly.
And then I have a candied tomato jam that I chop over it.
It's as if you needed
It's
anything
flavor
else.
on top
but
of
it's
flavor
perfect.
on top of flavor.
That's how I like to cook too.
Yeah.
People are like, "What the hell are you putting on there now? What do you need that for?" Wait, it's perfect. Leave it. I'm like, no. There's one more thing. There's always room for one more thing when you cook.
More is more.
More. Thank you.
More is
Absolutely.
more.
And there's a movie that line is from too, where someone says less is more, and somebody says no, more is more, and that's it. So now, we got so many people that popped on. I really want to acknowledge them. So if you don't see Leo Rodriguez out there tonight, girls, because I know the girls go crazy for Leo, he is in the studio audience, and I have limited Wi-Fi for some reason. There he is.
There he is.
Thank you. Leo, pop back on. He's so cute. Everybody that's... Here he is. He's so cute. Our accidental intern. So Kyle de Blasio, he's popped on. Kyle was with us that night when we had your unbelievable meatloaf, and he was talking about it too. Also the sausage, gravy and biscuits. What the hell? Yes, everybody. So
Four different sausages make up that sausage gravy.
Tell us. Okay, so you want to talk about that dish?
There is a family-owned butcher a few blocks from the restaurant, Esposito and Sons.
Italian.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Love them.
Love it.
Love them.
Yeah.
And there are several generations. And I go there and I pick out 4 different sausages.
Amazing.
And get back to the restaurant. We out of its
Casing.
casing, ground it some more, mix it up really well.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
You cook the way I cook. I just
With
like
love.
to.
You cook with
yes,
love.
but I also like to deconstruct and reconstruct
Absolutely.
things. I'm all about that.
Absolutely.
I love that. That's fantastic. Okay, let's see. Dominic Victor has joined us. Hi, Dominic. Are you still in Texas? Dominic works at Mess Hall. He's an amazing bartender and singer and dancer, and I think he's in Texas right now. Isabella Raskowski is my cousin Marisa, She is incognito under her daughter's Facebook page. So we're not supposed to know it's her. But Marisa, she joins every week. Hi, sweetheart. As a matter of fact, Marisa, when you come back to visit, we'll go see Randy. We'll go to Randy's restaurant.
It'd be great to meet her.
Oh, you'll love my cousin Marisa. She's amazing. Okay, let me see. George, Jessica Schaefer has joined us. Hi, Jessica. Jessica's getting married soon. We'd like to congratulate her out in Buffalo. Julie Garnier. Julie, are you in LA right now, or are you back in? I know she's traveling with the show right now, so pop that on. Suzanne Mason, Maria Filiamini, saw you last night. Jill Anderson, love you girls. They are amazing. Okay, so these are all people that come into the city and a lot of them go see Broadway shows. Now you are back in the middle. Give the radio listeners and your Facebook listeners your address.
331 West 51st Street between 8th and 9th, a block from Wicked, the musical.
A block from Wicked. So this is a perfect place to go before or after the show or in between shows. Like a Wednesday, I'm sure you're really busy on between shows, right?
Come anyway.
Anyway.
We will find room and make a table.
The night that I like, my favorite night to go to your restaurant is Friday because Bill Goffey, our mutual friend and big pain in the butt, but he is our mutual friend and he's very talented, as you know these temperamental artists can be.
Speaking of very talented, come by on a Friday when Maria's there because she sings. Maria sings.
I'm all right.
I love the sound of
I like to go when Friday nights when Billy's there. He plays from 9 to 12. And Leo is there a lot of times, and I like to go lots of times. Kyle joins us a lot. So let's make a thing of it. If Friday nights, if you're done with your show, or you're on the way to a show, or you're not going to a show at all, but you want something fun to do, you can have dinner, enjoy wonderful music, and just have fun. And Randy's there. He's cooking. He's walking around. He will hug you. Randy is a great hugger.
We hug, especially after you had the meatloaf. We hug you.
I got a hug before and after the meatloaf.
Couldn't resist.
Yeah, I love you.
I love you too.
So beautiful, isn't he beautiful?
Thank
Oh
you.
my God, I love him. Tara, you must come into this love circle. So
I'm here.
Now I got to tell you, I was watching. You were Facebook living this a couple of days ago, and you were walking around. You had just come from church. You were walking around in the sunshine, brightening up Harlem. I'm assuming you live in Harlem, right?
I do, yes.
Okay, and I have a special love for Harlem because I manage a bar called Mess Hall there on the weekends. So I love it. I love it. Now, you're not from Harlem, though. You are a Southern girl.
I am a Southern girl from Jacksonville, Florida.
Jacksonville, Florida.
Duval!
What's that?
That's the county, and it's the chant of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Did you know about this, Randy?
No.
I had no clue. Oh, I love that. So that the Jacksonville chant. Everybody should be doing this at home. You should be practicing that.
Yeah, everyone knows it.
Everyone knows it. All right, so you were born and raised there?
Born and raised in Jacksonville.
Okay. And do you have a big family, small family? Are you an only child? Or?
I am an only child.
Okay.
So pretty small family. I have cousins, aunts, uncles still there.
All right, all in Jacksonville.
All
doing
in
that
Jacksonville.
chant.
Doing the chant.
Game day.
Absolutely, on game day, the entire city does
Listen,
it.
I love football, so you're talking
So
about
do I.
Oh my God, I love it.
That wasn't golf.
No.
That's another part of Florida we don't want to talk about. But that's where the golfers go. But anyway, now, singing. I'm assuming that you started singing in church because I've heard you talk about that. Is that true?
Yeah, I started singing in church.
As a young girl?
Not.
Or did you start singing in school and then bring that to church?
I'll put it this way.
Yep.
Growing up in the South, did what your parents and grandparents told you to do, and that meant you were going to do something in church. And so the choir was the easiest thing to me to do, so I was a part of what we call the Sunshine Band.
Okay.
And I just sang and played around and ate candy and did whatever.
I love the 8 candy part because I'm in on that. I will eat candy anytime.
And my church got a new pastor who is a singer.
Oh, wow.
And he heard me one day do something that I clearly didn't know I had done and asked me to do a solo.
Oh, wow.
And it was
How old were you, do you remember?
Oh, my God. Maybe 9, 10.
I'm telling you, this is, I'm going to stop you. I'll tell you why, because I had this is so important, because I teach kids too, and we all have kids in our lives, and and we touch kids, we sing for them, they sing with us. I was 9 when I was in Catholic school when a priest heard me sing, just like with a bunch of friends, and said, I want you to come to folk group this Sunday and stay afterwards. And that's how, I didn't even know, I just was fooling around and having fun. And that's how I got connected with this amazing community. So when you tell that and you say 9, that's why I asked you how old you are. It changed my entire life.
Yeah.
My entire life. So you started singing, you had a solo. That's pretty impressive at 9.
I did.
Do you remember what the solo was?
Give me a clean heart. That was the song.
Did you have chills? I just got chills. I love her
Tag
voice.
me.
I love her voice.
So yeah, that was my song, and my mother saved the cassette.
See, I know. I have cassettes too. I won't give
years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, great. Now, Randy, I want to switch back to you first because Tarra is this she's she's traveled, she does a million shows and stuff. So she is the caliber of the people that I see on you. Because when I look at your Facebook page and your restaurant, the people that come to your restaurant are of this caliber, like top-notch singers.
You are of that caliber.
Yeah, you are of that caliber, Miss Thing. And everywhere I look, I'm like, some famous person loves your restaurant. So you, of course, are a chef and owner, but you also know these people because what was your career before this?
I still consider myself a dresser on Broadway, even though it's
And tell
been 2
people what
years.
that means if they don't know what that
So
means.
wardrobe maintenance and taking care of all the quick changes as it contains to the show and to the actors getting on. So we have 13 10-second changes all the way to 3 5-minute changes. So all the costumes are rigged. So during the day, there are hours allotted for doing all the repairs and rigging so we can get them in and out of these costumes in the allotted amount of time.
And how many years did you do that
I've
for?
been doing that for close to 25, 27 years.
Wow.
I didn't know that world existed coming to New York. I'm from a small town in South Carolina, and theater to me meant going to the movies. And and we had one movie theater, in our town. And so when I found out about this world and I was asked to be a part of it, I felt a connection immediately. And I asked my then supervisor, would he mentor me so I can stay in this career?
Wow.
And he did. But what I also did consistently throughout those years was cook and take everyone on these shows.
While you were there.
While I was there.
This is really, it's John Bronson, who is a mutual friend of ours, who I absolutely adore. He's a musical director, and he said that that's one of the things that he does when he goes out on tour, is he always cooked for the cast.
He does.
Right? So
Yep.
And he's an amazing cook, and I always think, that's such a great person to have around. And also Kenny Green told this great story about when he was on tour with, I forget what show it was, but Gladys Knight was on the tour with them. Maybe Smokey Joe's? Maybe it was Smokey Joe's. And Gladys Knight insisted that every Sunday, the whole cast sit down and have Sunday dinner together.
That's beautiful.
Isn't that great?
That's beautiful.
And she insisted, and Kenny said you could not disrespect Miss Gladys by not being there.
Mm-hmm.
And all she wanted was for everybody to sit down and eat together, and then you could go and do whatever you need to do. But I think it's so important, that person that has that heart that would do that, like the John Bronsons of the world, the Randy Witherspoons of the world. Those are very important people. They're the glue that keep communities together. So I want to thank you for that.
Oh.
And let's just keep checking because people keep coming on and they sometimes have questions. Jay Rivera has joined us. Michael Vaccaro. Hi, Michael Vaccaro.
Hey, Michael.
Now, I realize that there are 2 Michael Vaccaros that I know. One is in Massachusetts and one is in L.A. So let me know which one you are. They're both wonderful people. But they have 2 very different lives. So sometimes I think I'm talking to one, and I'm not. Okay, so Isabella Rascusi, I wouldn't mind a Randy hug. Oh my God. So that's my cousin Marisa. Marisa, when you come back to visit, which I'm hoping to get them here around Christmas time, maybe before, we're going to go see Randy, and you will get a hug, and you will not be the same. I'm just going to tell you right then and there. Richard Sates has joined us. John Bronson, we were just talking about you.
Hey, John.
You have the absolute best folks on your show tonight. I know, baby. And one of the things that I said that they had in common was you, the top
Hey,
of
John.
the hour. Isn't he the loveliest person?
He is.
he made a gigantic cake for one of my parties that was, it literally was this tall. It was called a cupcake, no, what was it, a peanut butter?
It was
Reese's peanut butter cup
Wow.
cake. It was incredible, 3 layers.
Yes, please.
Yes, Liliana DeRamio Silva has joined us. Jeffrey Campbell, my sweet friend, has joined us. Billy Goffey, of course, there he is. Ben Goldberg, Bill Young, Michael Bowe. Oh my goodness, so many nice people are out there. We thank you. So again, we're talking to Randy Witherspoon, the owner and chef at Spoon Fed NYC, which is on 51st between 8th and 9th?
8th and 9th. Yes.
Okay. Now, Tarra, you, I was trying to get you on the show for a while, but you're out there a lot. You are traveling a lot. And then you text me, you are an A student, by the way, because the second she got back into town, she texted me and said, I am available. These, she gave me the. So you are, what were you doing then when you were unavailable and you came into town? And I know you're going out of town again. So tell us your itinerary, my friend.
I think what I was doing then was Chicago at the Fulton.
Where's the Fulton?
In Lancaster or Lancaster,
Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania.
That's a beautiful, beautiful community out
It's
there.
a beautiful community and a lovely theater. I had a blast.
All right.
And-
What were you doing out there?
Chicago.
Chicago. Who did you play?
Mama Morton.
The best role in the show! Mama Morton. Oh my God, you know that one, Billy?
Uh-huh.
Oh boy.
Okay.
We might have to do that.
There it is.
We might take a quick break like in the next couple of minutes and just go to that. As a matter of fact, Billy, would you be prepared to play that now?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. Oh, he's going to look it up. All right. Well, we might have to do that. Mama Morton, I love that. That's my favorite role on the show.
It is a great role. I had a ton of fun doing it. And I was sort of like a sex vixen or something.
Oh yeah,
Everywhere.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
wore bustier. I was living life.
I cook wearing a bustier.
You
Comes through.
Oh, there's another thing they have in common. Bustiers.
Bustier.
And I had to
It's
wear a
a southern
bustier at
thing.
Tony and Tina's wedding. Bustiers for everybody. Everybody gets a bustier. You get a bustier. Billy's wearing one right now.
That's all Billy's wearing right
That's
now.
it. Oh, that's his thing. Eugenia Mesa has joined us. Hi, honey. How are you? Dr. Janet Jeffs has joined us. Mandar Chick Magnet has joined. Mandar, right? Leo is in the studio audience, so he will. I asked people to just be careful with the Wi-Fi tonight. I got to get more Wi-Fi.
Mando, you're in charge of recipes.
Can you wear one tonight? Judy has asked me. I don't know. You know what? I might have to do that. Just throw one on. Judy's my girlfriend. Okay, so do you have one available? I don't know where you would get one on the way now from here to New Jersey. Brian Johnson has joined us from Massachusetts. Oh, it's happened that way because you're in the audience, Billy. Okay, so now you were doing Mama Morton, and
Yes.
you're back in town for what, a month?
Month and a half.
And where are you going out to do now?
I am going home, Jacksonville, Florida, and I'm so excited.
Okay.
I haven't been on the stage in Jacksonville in 3 years.
Oh,
and
that's a
I'm
long
going
time.
back to do first show I ever did at age 16 years ago.
All right, a couple years back.
Misbehaving.
Yay.
It is one of my favorite shows. When I was 16, I was Armelia because I was up and squeaky and stuff.
Is that the Glenn?
Campbell.
No. Who originated that role? Was that Nell Carter?
Nell Carter
Okay.
was Nell.
Okay, she played Nell, and then
Right.
the squeak.
This Armelia was the another day.
Right.
That,
Yeah, it's a great show. Is John directing that, or musically directing that?
No, he's not.
But that's how you folks met, right?
John and I met for the first time. I went to the Villages outside of Orlando.
Okay,
and
I have
did
a friend that lives
quick
there, actually.
Audition for Irving Street, and John, I think, played. And then we met again at West Coast Black Theater Troupe in Sarasota years later, and kept trying to figure out how we knew each other.
Right.
And we've been connected ever since.
Unbelievable. Well, a lot of those musical directors and actors and actresses travel in circles, and sometimes you're just going to reconnect.
Yeah.
It's just going to happen like that. Okay, so you're going back to do Ain't Misbehaving. What are the dates on that theater?
May 8th, June 9th,
Okay.
and can I say some more?
You can say anything you want. We have plenty of time. We don't have enough time.
Another reason I'm so excited about going home is Many people don't know I had taught for 19 years.
I didn't know that. You see why I have to have people on the show? Did you know that?
No, I had no idea.
Exactly.
I taught first and fourth grade
Oh my
in
God.
Jacksonville. I would do community theater on the side as much as I
Would they
could
call you
possibly
Miss
do.
Tara or Miss Jones?
Miss Jones.
Okay. I go
And
by Miss Maria.
2014, I did my first professional show at the Alhambra, and that was Color Purple. I was Sophia. And
Oh my God.
June
You're
of
killing me.
2014, I resigned from teaching.
That's it.
And like took a leap of faith. And a friend asked me today, one of my mentors asked me today, so how many years has it been since you left teaching? And I was like, oh my God, 5 years.
Now,
I can't even believe it.
Let me ask you how that happened. Did you just say to yourself one day, I have to follow my dream of singing, or was it just that you were burnt out from teaching, or how did? Because that kind of decision is a major decision, and how does one? And that's why I want to come back to you about changing careers. So go ahead.
I'll tell you quickly. In 2012, I was blessed to be present at my mother's last breath. And what I always tell people is that at the same moment, a light went off and a light came on. And it was as if I could hear her saying, now live.
Yeah.
And that was 2012. I worked 2 more years just trying to get myself back together. In 2013, the fall of 2013, my superstar big sister, Angela Robinson Whitehurst, sent me a text message and said, because she's from Jacksonville also, she said, the Alhambra is doing the Color Purple. I'm going to email Todd, who's the artistic director, and tell him he has to hear you. I only did the audition because I didn't want to disappoint her.
Wow.
I didn't even have the right sheet music. I went in singing I Am Changing, and it was like 2 keys higher than I should sing it, but I was already there, and so I screamed for my life and made it.
Wow.
And the man who is my theater dad, I affectionately call him, hired me on the moment, and when he did, I kind of started seeing things come into motion. Hired me for the very next show and said to me, there's something special about you. If there's anyone that should not be in a classroom, it's you.
Wow.
He says, I'm going to make sure, he says, you're going to work for it, but I'm going to offer you your equity card as a...
Oh my God, that's amazing.
And I got my card doing Shrek the Musical. I was Dragon.
Wow.
I opened the show as Mama Ogre, green and everything. Then I ran off and took off a green face and became Mama Bear, and took my Mama Ogre clothes off because I had my Mama Bear clothes on underneath.
Right.
And then I was Dragon.
Wow.
So I worked hard.
Yes.
But it was, and even when I did the Color Purple, I was at work from 7:50 to almost 4 or 5 every day, and then I would go do the show at night.
Wow.
But that's how it happened. I just felt, I can't explain
No,
it.
you can't.
It's that inner sense that this is the time.
You know what
Do it
else?
now.
And I mean, we didn't prepare to talk about this, but I was telling these guys that I like to stay very authentic when we do the show. And we, before the show, talked about our moms, because my mom also passed away a couple years back. And you know what's amazing? I could not agree with you more about what happens when a parent, some people it's their dad, but there's something that happens when a parent is no longer there, where nothing matters anymore. It's the weirdest feeling. The small stuff does not matter. There is just a switch, like when you said a light went off and a light goes on, there is a change that happened. Like what I felt was, like, you know when you're a little kid and somebody ties a balloon around your wrist so you won't lose it? So you're like, okay, it's not going to go anywhere. It's tied around. I felt literally like the balloon had been snipped, but then I felt like I was the balloon. Felt like I had just, and my mother was holding it, you know. Jimmy, what's going on?
Get a little closer to your mic.
Closer to the mic, okay. So the reason I bring the story up is because these incredible things that happened to us, you know, like I felt so disconnected from the thing that held me to earth, you know, which was this, and moms are like so big in our lives.
Yeah.
So I could not agree with you more, and I think it's very important to do what you're supposed to do and what your passion is. And that's like, we talk about this all the time on the show, like to follow your passion. And sometimes at first there's not the right money in it, or it's hard to know if you're doing the right thing, you know, or you're in a new city you know, like you said, sometimes you're like, my family's not here. I don't know a lot of people here. What am I doing here? But you know you're here for the right reason. I really love that story, and I appreciate that you told it. Thank you so much. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that can identify with that. Now, Randy, your life changed careers, your life changed directions, and how did that happen? Because you were doing it for 27 years.
Absolutely. I love being on Broadway. As a dresser, I love the community. I love what I did. I took pride in
I'm
it.
sure
and,
you did.
and I love defining myself as a dresser.
Mm-hmm.
But as I said earlier, I cooked for everyone on every show I've been on, and it started to take on its own life. And I was pulled aside, and it was said to me, "Stop feeding us for free. We enjoy your food that much that we want to pay you for it."
That's what they said?
That's what they said.
Wow.
I had not. This was not part of a plan or a scheme or
Someone
a
said it
business
to you?
plan.
Was it a
Exactly.
friend?
No, it was an entire department
Wow.
at Wicked. It was the hair department that pulled me in and said, "We want to talk to you."
Wow.
Yes. So what we did was started to work on meals that they enjoyed that I've made.
Okay.
And we constructed a menu, and then we came up with the name, and they did it as a theater, as a family, as a community.
Wow.
And then I went forth out into the community, and my business plan was, now here's an envelope that says, "Like you mean it, honey." Put anywhere from $4 to $8 in the envelope. Pick your meal. I'll come back between shows and pick up the leftover meals, and I'll also, if you don't have the money, just eat. So that went on for 5 years, and I loved it. I loved it, and there's so many stories attached with that.
I can imagine.
From Patti LuPone to James Earl Jones, and it was James Earl Jones at a party we were doing for his son at one of the shows he was in, that Randy should open up a restaurant.
Wow. James Earl Jones.
And he used
with his deep voice.
I can hear him sing.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, you should hear my husband imitate him. Sounds nothing like him, but, but it's still, you should hear him do it. And that next day, I started looking for a place.
Wow.
And I started the ball rolling, and here we are.
Amazing. And how long have you been open now?
Open 2 years. We got the space a year and a half prior to opening, and everything that could go wrong went wrong. And when it looked like we were out of money for paying for a Manhattan rental,
Yes, I
without
can't even imagine
without
that
any
goes
we weren't making any money because we weren't open. We were in construction, and then the contractors left before we finished. The entire Broadway community. It was. I said, "I'm not going to open, but thank you for your love and support." And they, from the carpenters and to electricians and the dancers and the stage managers and the ushers and the musicians, showed up without me asking and said, show us your list.
Wow.
And they spent the next 2.5 to 3 months finishing that restaurant.
Are you kidding me?
And they raised money to help offset the gate rent.
Oh my God, that's a beautiful story.
And they opened the restaurant. They said, "We build sets every day for a living."
Wow.
So
that is a beautiful story.
Community.
that's community.
That is a beautiful story. All right, I am very moved by that, and I want to go back to that in a minute. Now, I would like to take this time, if it's okay with Bill and Tarra, Tarra and Bill, this was very last minute planned, are going to do a song. And Randy, that story, oh my God. So, folks, I want you to, we're going to turn you that way. And Bill and Tarra are going to do a song together. I'm going to keep talking until the one they were going to do originally. Yep. All right, so just hang in there. Or what was the first one you guys were planning on doing? All right, here we go. So this is from Chicago, the role she just finished doing. All right, it's all you and Billy. Take it.
Ask any of the chickies in my pen. They'll tell you I'm the biggest mother hen. I love them all, and all of them love me. Because the system works, the system called reciprocity. I said, Mama, she'll get hot. When they pass that basket, folks contribute too. You put in for Mama, she'll put out for you. Folks on top of the ladder are the ones the world adores. So boost me up my ladder, kid, and I'll boost you up yours. Let's all stroke together like the prince and crew. When you're stroking Mama, Mama's stroking you. So what's the one conclusion I can bring this number to? When you're good to Mama, Mama's good.
That's crazy! What the hell was that? Oh my God! Can you believe that? You see why I have plastic glasses we're using. Because I was afraid the glasses would shatter. Bill Goffey, I can't thank you enough for stepping up and doing it. Thank you. Wasn't that incredible? Come on back. Come on back. Oh my God. Whoa. You have sung for your supper, young lady, which is going to bring us straight into our next segment, which is called Go Ahead, Keep Eating. Thank you. Now you two have to do it with us. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Go ahead, keep eating. Okay, so, my God, thank you both. You, first of all, Randy, that story was amazing, and I want to go back to it. So, I had Chef Randy Witherspoon on, so I had to step it up, as Randy always steps it up. Tarra said that she loves seafood, because I love seafood. She said, are you kidding me? I'm from Florida.
Yep.
So, what did I make? I made some jumbo shrimp, marinated in, I used Marsala wine, garlic, capers, basil, a little unami, which I'm loving these days. Instead of, a lot of people don't like the mushroom texture, which I do, but a lot of people don't, so I use the mushroom flavoring. I used that, and onion, like sauteed some onions, some cube bell peppers, which are the green ones that you see that have a little bit of a bite to them, and then some peas, which I love, and made like a delicious, like a butter cream kind of sauce that's going to go on that. And the pasta is a radiatore, which means radiator, which I love. Radiatore tricolore. So Randy said that's going to be his new name.
That's my new drag name.
That's your new drag name.
I can't say it.
Radiatore.
I can't say it yet, but I will.
It's tough to say. Radiatore. It's like radiator. They look like little radiators. So that is what.
Plate.
Thank you, sweetheart. I wanted to make it look pretty for you. So that's. But we have a ton of this. So this is just our display plate. Now, everybody knows I love a nice salad. So I continue with, since we're doing this show is a Southern themed show celebrating Southern style. I am Southern Italian, so we went with the Southern Italian. So that was that, and made a delicious salad, red leaf lettuce with some delicious mozzarella, fresh mozzarella cut up, and these beautiful little tomatoes that I love. They're kind of like cherry tomatoes, but they're 3 different colors, staying with the tricolore again, and they each have different flavors. So I did that, and there's some fresh basil in there. We're just going to do a simple balsamic vinegar and extra virgin olive oil, and there's a little bit of garlic salt in there already. That look good, Leo?
It looks so good.
Now, Randy has great desserts at his restaurant. I love that banana pudding.
Thank you.
Oh, my God. It's like, I could drink that. It's so good. So, but I said, I'm not going to be a fool and try to, I don't bake anyway, make dessert or buy something foolish that Randy could make 1,000 times better. So I thought, what would Randy not make? Because it's a Southern restaurant. Boston cream pie. So here it is. You don't make that, right, Randy?
No, I don't make
All
that.
right, so I got a nice Boston cream pie cake. We're going to be enjoying this,
Yum.
the 4 of us. Leo Rodriguez is going to help us eat this as well.
Oh, you know it.
Yes, I love that about you, Leo. And Billy Goffey, thank you so much for playing for Tarra.
Yeah, Tarra!
Oh my God! Could you just die? That was amazing, right? Okay. Oh, you were incredible. Yeah, that's what you guys just experienced. What I experienced the first time I heard her sing, I was like, "What the hell's going on there?"
Yeah. I don't think the olive oil is extra virgin after that. Song.
No. Oh well, there you go. Now we know about the salad too. So, all right, now. Randy, that story that you told about the Broadway community coming together like that, I didn't know that at all. And I want you guys to remember that Randy's restaurant, I feel like it is a home when you walk in. And now it's even more of a home. Also, the upstairs, Billy told me about it because I didn't know about the upstairs. So Billy's like, oh, you should see the upstairs. And everybody is so nice there. Like he said when he first started working there, can't believe how nice these people are. He kept saying it. So I want to put this out there. If you are having a party, like a party, how many can you fit up there, Randy?
We have 2 rooms. It's like a floor through.
Okay.
We can separate it with curtains, and we also have a full bar upstairs. And in one of the bigger rooms, we can seat comfortably 45, and that room has a stage and audio video equipment and a piano and a drum set.
Unbelievable.
And then we have the bar, and I can seat 10, 15 in that area, and then we have the back room, which we call the red room, and that can seat 5. And there's standing that allows for more. We can.
And the little stage, I love it. It's a little stage that's out there, so it's really good for like any kind of party that you're having, but also like showers and things like that, because there's a little bit of an elevated or. Any kind of presentation, maybe you're doing a presentation for work, like lunchtime too. You're open lunchtime, right?
We're open lunchtime.
So let's say you work in the Broadway area and you need to do a presentation for your company. I thought of this as soon as I went in there. I thought this is a perfect place that's tucked away, and then you get an amazing meal while you're doing this presentation instead of in a stuffy office that nobody really wants to be in. So please write it down. spoonfednyc.com or go on Facebook and look it up. Go and check out this place, especially we go on Friday nights when Billy's playing, and go and check out this space because you will not believe how cool it is and that you don't even know it's there. So I want to keep checking with my people, see who's here. Melissa Driscoll has joined us now. I saw Gene Simpson Dunn.
Hi, Melissa.
You know Melissa?
I do.
Oh, how cool. Missy's great. And I saw Gene Simpson had put on. Hi, Gene Simpson. She's in Illinois. L.J. Temple has joined us. Dana Joel Nicholson. He's my next door neighbor. He's great, and he's got amazing pipes too. So Dana is this incredible singer. Dana, we got to get to see Billy at Spoonfed on a Friday. I tried to get him a few weeks ago, but then I got called into Brandy's. What happens lots of times is on Friday nights, I'm on the sub list at Brandy's as a singer and bartender, so I work there, and I don't know till the last minute. James Solomon Ben has joined us. Charles Chesler has joined us. Mandar is loving all of this stuff. He's clapping like crazy. Now, I need to tell the regulars because, Marisa said, wow, wow, wow. I know, Marisa. It's incredible, right? So, Rena Cugnali, you notice, is not here tonight. She's one of our regulars. She's my cousin. Liz Goldenberg just joined, and I saw her at Spoonfed last time I was there. Rena is in the Dominican Republic. She is enjoying some sun and fun. She's there with her husband. They're on a little fun excursion. So that's why Tarra just made a sexy noise there. Wow. LaDonna Burns. Do you know LaDonna Burns?
Hey, LaDonna.
LaDonna, look who's here. Do you know LaDonna Burns?
I don't know if
LaDonna, you need to know
LaDonna.
Randy. Randy Witherspoon is the owner and chef at Spoonfed NYC. We got to all go together. He's an amazing chef. Oh my God, LaDonna is incredible. I love LaDonna. She works at Brandy's. I was just talking about Brandy's. All right, so lots of stuff going on here. Now, let's a little bit talk about food. Tarra, you said you don't like to cook very much, right?
No.
Okay.
I love to eat.
All right, good. Thank God for people like you.
Right.
Because
Amen.
we like to cook, and you need people to eat it, right? Now, what growing up, what was your favorite meal? Something that made you instantly happy, even if it was like junk food.
2 things.
Okay, tell me.
My mother doing mashed potatoes, other pork chops with gravy, and we called them early June peas.
What's that? What is that? I don't know
Just
that.
the little green peas.
Early
but
June
they were
peas.
picked in early June, so they call them early June.
Oh, I love.
peas.
Were they sweet?
I don't know. They just worked well with all of that gravy. Good.
You see the difference between a cook and a non-cook? She's
Right.
like, I don't know.
And
We're like,
soft
okay,
rolls.
soft
And then
rolls.
My grandmother.
With butter.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
My grandmother would cook chicken and dumplings.
Beautiful.
I love chicken and dumplings, and no one cooks in my family. Went away with my
That
grandmother.
really, truly is a Southern thing. I have never had, I mean, that's the only time that I've really had chicken. Do you make that?
Yes, we do.
You do? At the restaurant?
Yeah, it's not on the menu. We had it on the menu as a special 2 weeks ago.
Okay, but it's a special. But that would be a special.
Yeah.
Can't make that every day.
Right.
Right.
Can I say my other one? So we can
Yes,
see if
please.
this is
We
like
got
the
off on
restaurant?
the we got off on the dumpling thing.
So I love
Love
a good
chicken
pot of
dumplings.
neck bones.
What's a pot of neck bone? What's that?
Neck bone. She said a pot of neck
Oh,
bones.
a pot.
But down home it's just one word. A pot of neck bones.
Oh, I never heard that.
Pot of neck bones.
Pot of neck.
Yeah,
Is
one
that
word.
a
One word.
Pot of neck bone.
Pot of neck bones.
Oh, I love that. Tara, say that again. Say that again.
Pot of neck bones.
Okay.
There's almost an R in the potter.
I'm like, what is that?
I'm finished. Done.
Now, what is that? What does that taste like?
Oh my God, it's so good.
I love it. She goes,
It's
oh
a
my
bony
God.
meat.
It's like chicken wings?
No, but it's
Is it
like
beef or is it pork?
it's beef.
Oh, it
Oh,
is?
beef.
It is. It's actually the neck bone, and then
nice.
and the joints of the neck bones is where all of the succulent meat.
I'm Mexican. We know neck bones.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah,
it. Look at the Mexicans are jumping in there.
And
It's
it's
good, very
one of those,
flavorful.
and it's one of those dishes that you have to eat with your hand.
I love that. I
Because
don't
you
mind.
have to.
I don't mind. Give me
suck-
some napkins.
suck
I'll eat
the
all that
meat out
stuff.
of the bone.
You have to suck it out.
Oh my God. Terry Lieberts Ross has joined us. Hi, Terry Ross. How are you, my love? I saw. We're talking food. Terry, you would love Randy. When Terry comes back
Hi,
and
Terry.
Steve, they have to go to Spoon Fed on a Friday night or any night. Just go any night. We'll meet you down there. All right. So now, Randy, I know that you are a chef, but what was your favorite? Now you talked about some Oreos.
Yes.
All right.
yeah.
Tell everybody what you do every night. Because if I did this, not every night, even every 2 weeks, I'd be gigantic.
Me too.
What? But
I've
you
been doing-
little
I've been-
skinny
I-
malink, as they would
I've
say,
been
the Irish
doing
would say.
this since I was a
Young.
young man,
Okay.
and
What do you
and
do every night to wind down?
I have a full pack of golden Oreo cookies, all 3 rolls that I have to dunk in milk.
The whole bag. You eat the whole
bag,
thing.
every single night.
Can you believe that?
My best presents from my husband and from my kids and from my grandkids have been opening up a box and there's dozens and dozens of Oreo cookie
Oh my
packages.
God. Now, this is going a completely different direction, but I don't want to not talk about it because I forgot. Another thing that I want you guys to know is Randy, was you in the Air Force?
I was in the military from right out of high school.
Okay, so we love our vets, and so we thank you for your service,
No,
sir.
Thank you.
And so, Randy, do you cook when in the Air Force?
I
Were
did.
You?
I
Okay.
was so excited when I went into the military, and I was very excited when I got my first apartment. I was stationed in Denver, Colorado, and I was stationed in Maine, and couldn't wait to make my first dish in the kitchen. And I called my grandmother, I called my mom, my dad's mom.
Because you had your own place.
Exactly.
So you were stationed in, what did you do in the Air Force?
I was military police.
Wow. That's sexy. Isn't that sexy? Tara's making all the sounds. No matter what, Sarah, you are like, you got all the sounds. So I was like, Rena's in Dominican Republic with her husband. She's like, And then, in the military, she is there for some.
So when I went into the
love
military,
it.
I only weighed 130, 135. I used to compete.
I think I weighed that in 6th grade. That's all I'm going to say.
I used to compete in martial arts because that was my fighting weight, and I couldn't gain weight. So the guys in the military, my coworkers, the other soldiers said, start working out. When I started working out, my appetite increased.
Of course.
So I would start calling my grandmother and my mom to hone in my skills as to the dishes that were my favorites that they made.
And they told you the recipes over the
Absolutely.
phone. Wow.
Yeah. So
and when you made them, did you? Of course, you did it make you miss them more? Did it make you feel closer to them?
made me feel closer to them because
Yeah.
I shared them. Everything about a Southern meal is not so much eating alone as much as it is doing
Sharing.
a supper style.
Absolutely.
I will invite strangers to this day. You hungry? Come
I'm
on
the
in.
same way. Randy,
Yeah.
we are kindred spirits.
Absolutely. Yeah.
When's your birthday?
January 6th.
Okay, so you are a Capricorn. And how about you, Tara?
November 7th.
So you're a Scorpio? Oh, that's all those sounds.
Yeah.
Billy is a
Yeah,
Scorpio
baby.
too. So we have two
That's
Scorpios.
That's right.
Oh my God, Leo, you're a Sag, right?
Yep.
That's why he's so lovable. Oh my God, the Scorpios, that's SEX on a stick.
Yeah.
You know that, right, man?
Mm-hmm.
And all right, so you, I'm like,
Loads of fun.
I heard. I mean, you're making all the sounds back there. I'm like, she must know something. Tell me.
But you could know.
You know what?
But you
I
could
probably
know.
better not know. I'm telling you, I get in enough trouble as it is in my life. All right, so Randy, you started cooking your mom and your grandma's recipes, and that's when you started cooking, right?
Yes, I was a big grandma's boy growing up, so I was.
I love
I was.
grandma's boys
Oh my
and
gosh,
girls.
I was.
Those are the best.
I couldn't stand being a few feet away from my dad's mom. Couldn't stand it.
Did she raise you? Did you?
Yeah, she did. My mother always lived in Connecticut, so
Okay.
I would come up during the summer to visit my mom
Okay.
and rush back home to my grandmother and my dad. But
Is
it's
she
all
still
about my
alive?
No, she passed in mid.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's what's so wonderful
What was
about
her
the
name?
restaurant, Viola.
Viola.
Yeah.
Thank you, Viola.
Thank you, Viola.
Up there, we know you can hear
And
us.
everyone either called her Miss Vi, and we didn't put the S in cousin. It was Kun.
Yeah.
So right,
Why?
so Kun Vi.
Really?
So
I
they,
love
would,
that.
so they would either say.
I'm learning so many things.
So they would say, "Hey Miss Vi" or "Hey Kun Vi,"
I love that.
and sitting
That's
right
sexy.
next to her will always be me, and that's how I wasn't.
Even as a little kid, you
So
were
I
always-
wasn't learning to cook. I was under her while she was cooking.
Well, that
and that's why it was a natural inclination or
Randy,
a natural
I'm telling
progression.
you and I, this is just the beginning of a great friendship because we could talk for hours. That's exactly how I learned to cook. I was crazy about my mother. She was my favorite. She still is my favorite person. And I just loved sitting next to her or watching her cook.
Yeah.
So she would cook, and my mom was handicapped, so she had to sit when she cooked. She sat on a stool because she couldn't really stand up. And I would just stand with her and lean and just watch her and say, "What are you doing? What's that?"
Yeah,
And she'd say, "Oh, this," or "I don't know." My mother would make up as she went. Or she'd say, "I'm going to do that now. What do you think? Should I?" I'll be like, "Yeah. You're going to put that in?" Or my mother was very good about looking at, and probably your grandma was the same way, seeing what was already in the cupboard. And seeing was already, because we grew up poor. I'm sure you did too.
And didn't know it.
You didn't?
You didn't know it.
What do I always say?
I look back at these dishes.
Anybody that knows me says, I always say the same thing. We had no idea we were poor.
Yeah.
Because we always ate delicious food. But it was peasant style food.
Absolutely. Biscuits and syrup with fatback was my favorite meal. And I look back on it now. I'll look at syrup. And I look back on it now. It's probably because that was what was available and quick. You had flour, you could make biscuits, and you had syrup.
Right.
And there was always a little thing of fatback.
Yeah, and that's with Italians is polenta,
that's my favorite
which is
meal.
cornmeal. You like polenta? But you know now everybody's like, "Oh, polenta." I'll tell you what polenta was. If you didn't have a lot of money, which most of us didn't, but like again, we didn't know we were poor, our moms would make literally a gigantic pot like this big, and we'd have a big thing to stir it. And so she would call us in. She'd be like, "Maria Pia," that's my real name. She'd call me, "Maria Pia, vieni qua." And then I would have to do it. And then she'd call my little sister, "Carla Nile, vieni qua." And then she would have to do it. And then my mom would come back in and she'd do it for a while, my grandma, because you had to keep stirring that cornmeal. And what it was at the end of it, then you just dumped it out into these big bowls. And if you let it get a certain temperature, then you could cut, like if it got cold enough, you could cut it and make it into like squares. Or we liked it really warm and she would pour it just like tomato sauce.
That process you just described, I call that cooking with love.
Yeah.
Cooking with love. When folks say they can taste love in your food, it's because you that time to stir.
Okay.
There's no fast process.
I know,
There's no
But it's
shortcuts.
part of what makes you love it.
Absolutely.
My mother also used to take apples and put them in aluminum foil, put sugar on them, cut up apples, and just put them in the stove. And that was
Someone
like...
just asked me about that.
We thought it was the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah,
It was.
it was, though.
It was though. She took an apple, cut it up, put some sugar, and we were like, "Whoa!" Think about that. How cool that is. So we are, believe it or not, we're coming close to the end of our show. So Tara, tell us again where you're going to be, so we know.
I will be in Jacksonville, Florida, at the Alhambra Theater and Dining,
Okay.
May 8th through June 9th. doing Ain't Misbehaving. I'll
Okay.
be there as Nell.
Okay, so if you're down, oh my God, if you're down in Jacksonville doing that, just in that theater, you're not going to be touring around with that,
No,
right?
just in that theater. And
Okay.
it's alhambrajax.com.
Okay. So listen, now when the show is over, we're going to eat, of course, but then tomorrow, the next, whenever you get home, you can type that in. Do you see this feed?
Yeah.
Tarra, you can type that in so they can find it. But on your website, they can find all that information, right?
Yes, it will be there. I haven't updated. I will as of tonight.
Okay, good. You see how these things happen? So Tarra Connor Jones. I think pretty soon we're going to come to. We got about 2 minutes left. Randy, now I want you. I know you're. Yvette has joined. Yvette Bloom has joined us. Lynn Portis has joined us. Cooking with Love. Lynn, oh my God, you got to go back and watch the show. We got to go see Randy. Scorpios. Lynn is a Scorpio too. She's my musical director. So Randy, now. Hey Jimmy, how much time do we have?
You got a minute and a half.
Minute and a half. Okay, Randy, what do you want to leave people with about, do you want to leave people, what would you say in your life has brought you the most satisfaction and you want to pass that on? What is it?
Don't be afraid to change your mind.
Don't be afraid to change your mind. Wow. That's okay. And also from what I got from your story is, don't be afraid, because there's something that will take you up in its wings. Like there were so many times, I never heard you say you were giving up. I heard you say that we're not going to open, it's not, we tried. But then this cloud of love came and lifted you up. And also what I got from your story is let people carry you, because you've carried them. And sometimes we have to carry each other.
Learn to say yes.
Learn to say yes. And Tarra, I love what you said about the light going off and the light going on. What else do you want to leave us with? Oh, how many seconds, Jimmy? Sometimes I talk. Okay, we got to wrap it up. We love and appreciate you. We could talk for hours. We're going to talk after this. We're going to enjoy a delicious meal. Thank you, Jimmy Bell. We appreciate you so much. Thank you, Andre. You'll come back every Tuesday at 9. Love you. You are adorable.
Oh my God. Thank you so much.
Oh my God.